Good afternoon, boys and girls. Today we're going to be working on lesson 107. Let's go ahead and look at part 1. First word. What is the underlined part? What word? Authentic. Next word. What is the underlined part? Shawl. What word? Specialize. Next word. What is the underlined part? Shun. What word? Nation. Next word. What is the underlined part? Dis. What word? Displeasure. Next word. What is the underlined part? X. What word? Exclusive. Let's go ahead and move on to part 2. First word. What word? Purchased. Next word. What word? Designers. Next word. What word? Original. Next word. What word? Exhausted. Next word. What word? Probably. Next word. What word? Releases. Next word. What word? Dealer. Next word. What word? Displayed. Next word. What word? Billboard. Next word. What word? Explaining. Next word. What word? Imitations. Next word. What word? Broadcast. Next word. What word? Campaign. Next word. What word? Models. Next word. What word? Middle priced. Next word. What word? Worth. Next word. What word? Advertising. Next word. What word? Patent. Next word. What word? Developed. Next word. What word? According. Now let's go ahead and move on to part 3. We're going to talk about what those words mean. Word number 1. What word? Copyright. A copyright is the right to make copies of something that is printed. The right belongs to the person or company that owns the copyright. If you don't own the copyright, you may not make copies without permission. Everybody, what do we call the right to make copies of something that is printed? Get ready. A copyright. Number 2. What word? Century. A century is 100 years long. Number 3, what word? Agency. An agency is a business that represents clients. Everybody, what do we call a business that represents clients? Get ready. An agency. Number 4, what word? Commercial. A commercial is an advertisement. Word number 5, what word? Import. When you import something, you bring it into the country. Everybody, what's another way of saying the company brought 100 rings into the country? Get ready. The company imported 100 rings. Number 6, what word? Frantic. Frantic is another word for very excited and upset. Everybody, what's another way of saying the people in the office were very excited and upset? Get ready. The people in the office were frantic. Number 7. What word? Budget. A budget is a breakdown of how money is to be spent. Everybody, what's another way of saying the company had a breakdown of how money was to be spent? Get ready. The company had a budget. Touch word 8. What word? Franchise. A franchise is the right to sell something. Everybody, what's another way of saying the store had the right to sell foot mixers? Get ready. The store had a franchise to sell foot mixers. Now let's go ahead and begin with part 4. We're going to read our story. So today's story is titled Car. Let's go ahead and begin reading. Please pay close attention and listen to the questions. Joe was explaining his idea to the executives of the advertising agency. He had proposed naming the Nyota car. He was saying, I've been in touch with 3 lawyers who specialize in patents and copyrights. According to them, we can probably use the name car, and even if a lawsuit is brought against us, we'll probably be able to use the name for 3 or 4 years. Question number 1. Why had Joe proposed naming the Nyota car? Joe proposed naming the Nyota car because this was a great way to get free advertising for the Nyota. Now, what had the lawyers checked on? The lawyers had checked if it was legal to use the name car. Now, let's go ahead and continue. Car, the president said, you mean we'll just call the Nyota car? That just doesn't sound right. Oh no, Joe said, smiling. It sounds beautiful. It's different. It's something you'll remember. It's something you'll think about. The car won't be just another import. It will be the talk of everybody. We'll get $10 million worth of free advertising. Everybody will know about car. And if enough people know about it, we'll sell a lot of cars and get a lot of new dealers. The marketing director was standing up. It's great, she said. If we can pull it off, it's the greatest idea of the century. Question number 2. How would car get free advertising? So the way car would get free advertising is that every time someone said the word car, they would be saying the name of the Nyota. The president was frowning and shaking his head. He said, but it just doesn't sound right. Car? At last the president agreed to the plan, and the work began. He spent the next 3 months working with the people at the agency. He developed names for the different models of car. He named the cheapest line of cars biggest selling. He worked out commercials and billboards with the creative director. One billboard showed a very small picture of the car. The message on the billboard said, now the biggest selling car is in the country. The word is was very small to make the message look as if it said, now the biggest selling car in this country. At the bottom of the billboard was another message, see it at your car dealer. Question number 3. What messages were on the billboard that Joe developed? So the messages that were on the billboard were, now the biggest selling car is in this country, and see it at your car dealer. Joe named the middle price line of cars the number 1 in the nation. One billboard showed a picture of the number 1 in the nation. The message said, this car is the number 1 in the nation, see it at your car dealer. Joe named the highest price line of cars the original imported. One billboard displayed the car and had the message, see the original imported car at your car dealer. Activity at the advertising agency was frantic for 3 months. Lawyers argued with each other. Designers and artists argued with each other, as did the heads of different departments, and the president of the agency walked around shaking his head and saying, it still doesn't sound right to me. Let's listen to question number 4. What didn't sound right to the president of the agency? So calling the car, the Nyota car, didn't sound right to the president of the agency. Now let's continue. The agency planned to spend the entire advertising budget to put on a big show for 1 week. After that week, there would be no more money in the budget. Television time had been purchased. Ads had been placed in newspapers around the country. News releases were sent to newspapers and broadcasting stations. Billboards had been prepared. Question number 5. How long was the advertising campaign going to last? The advertising campaign was going to last for 1 week. At last, the advertising campaign began. The first commercial came on the morning news. As the announcer said, there's only 1 car. There are lots of imitations. If you want to see the only car that is named car, where can you go? To your car dealer. Don't be fooled, however. There are a lot of dealers who call themselves car dealers. Remember, there's only 1 car, but a lot of imitations. That commercial ran 20 times on national news broadcasts, on every television channel. There were also quick commercials throughout the day. All were the same, opening with pictures of more popular automobiles. As each automobile was shown, the voice said, "Is this a car?" "No." Then a picture of a car flashed on the screen. "There's only one car in this country. See it at your authorized car dealer. Don't settle for imitations. The car you see in this picture happens to be the biggest selling car. See it and other authentic cars. The original imported car and the car that is the number one in the nation. Call the toll-free number for the location of the real car dealers." Things went wild. A flood of calls came into the advertising agency before the campaign had been going 3 hours. Let's listen to question number 6. Why was the TV commercial a good one? The TV commercial was good because it got a lot of attention from people. Everybody from a senator to a group of local car dealers called, and most were furious. "What are you trying to pull?" one dealer demanded. "I'm a car dealer, but I don't sell that thing you're calling car. People are calling me and asking about car." Joe told the dealer, "The solution is simple. Keep your name and keep the cars you're selling, but add car to your car line. Then anybody who is interested in a car will think of you first. We can give you an exclusive franchise in the city if you act immediately." The dealer acted immediately and became a car dealer. Question number 7. Why was the dealer angry? The dealer was angry because he was a car dealer, but he didn't sell the car. People kept asking him about the car. So when you're done, boys and girls, make sure you complete lesson 107. Have a great day.